Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is the random name 951, and I'm here to bring you another PlayStation 3 video. And no, we're not going to talk about this E01 today. This is a backwards compatible backwards compatible PS3. But no, we're going to be talking about a new player to the game in my collection of backwards compatible PS3s. If you guys can't tell already from that black trim, this is one of the two launch model PlayStation 3s. And yes, there's only two. There's the A01, which basically looks like that, or that looks like the A01, but the A01 has that chrome trim. This one must be the B01. And there's not really too much difference. If you guys want to know, I'm just going to explain it because I love explaining kind of just the differences and what the difference is between the two models. So the A01 is kind of the top end Cadillac Escalade Deluxe model edition. The only big difference is the A01 has a built-in Wi-Fi module. This one does not have any Wi-Fi capability, and the A01 features the extra storage components such as the PSP memory stick for SD card, and I forgot what this is called. But yeah, so I mean that's the only true difference, is lack of, I guess, support for certain storages and Wi-Fi. Now, when I look at the B01, I think of this is the true upgrade from the PS2. And what I mean, this specific model is like the true upgrade from the PlayStation 2. I mean, just looking at them, they look, like brothers from another mother, But no, they look so similar. And if you take a look, like, here's the PS2 part right here, and then they just, boom, added this whole thing, making the PlayStation 3. It's kind of funny looking at it like that, but, it's crazy. You got 4 USB ports. This one has 2 plus something. I don't know what that is, little thing. So it's got 4 USB ports on the front, and I think there's also 2. No, it's just 4. And 4 USB ports. It's HDMI capable as well as AV cable capable, and I guess component also. But yeah, I mean, if you think about all the models, of the PS3, I would say the B01 is like the true, not successor, but just a true PlayStation gaming model. Because you think about the PS2, they had the option for internet. This little part right here, it's called expansion kit or something, expansion bay. You would take that off. You would put the attachment for the Ethernet, and boom, sign up, log in with PlayStation, and you were ready to play the games that were available online. And this is kind of the same thing. It stays true to that. And I just personally, I love how the B01 looks, and just kind of solidify this is a B01. Yeah, I'm kind of a little weenie about stuff like this, but you can see there it's CECHB01. And I was a little worried too, because I noticed when I first, only maybe an hour ago, I noticed the HDMI out was kind of bent. I was like, crap, But I'll get to that a little later. Let's do a little story time, kind of sit down story time with you guys, and let you know how we got this bad boy. So if I didn't tell you before, that E01, the one I just showed you in the beginning of the video, I actually picked that one up through OfferUp, and ever since I think it's been like maybe about 3 going on 4 weeks, I actually saw a B01 that was for sale on OfferUp for $75. I was about probably 3 hours late, because when I found the post, it was at 3 hours ago that was posted, and it was also sold. So that the seller must have been contacted within like minutes of it being posted, and I was like, man, I really want a B01. I have an E01, but I want the true system on a chip backwards compatibility. I want that emotion engine emulation, you know, the straight guts from the PS2 on my PS3. So, you know, it's between the A01, B01, but in my head I'm like, man, I cannot get over how cool that piano black trim on the B01 looks, you know? So I'm just like, all right, let's make it happen. So these last couple of days I've been like a bloodhound on OfferUp, just like constantly refreshing my PlayStation 3 and PS3 search. And let me give you guys a little tip. You want to have both, because people who don't know what they have or what they're selling specifically, you know, they're just going to see, okay, I see PlayStation 3. I'm going to type that. That's what I'm selling. Some people, you know, a lot of us, including me, I like to say PS3. It's like kind of like slang, but you know, everyone knows what you're talking about. And even Sony, they kind of they market it as that. You know, you see the PS4, PS3. You know, they did that as their logo. But you know, the OGs, the OG PS3s were actually the, you know, it's a PlayStation 3, same crap. So anyway, you want to make sure you have both those searches on, because sometimes this didn't show up in PS3, it showed up on PlayStation 3 search only. Anyway, getting back on topic, I saw that. You know, this is like around 1 in the afternoon. I was just like, you know, it's time to jump on OfferUp. I haven't been on there for like 30 minutes. So I was like, decided to search. And I did like a manual search, because sometimes I'll get delayed notifications. The push for the notification doesn't get to my phone as quick. So I go on, don't see really anything on PS3, go PlayStation 3, and I see like a couple new ones, and then I look, I'm like, hold on, what is this? What is this? So let me just bring up the listing just to show you guys what I saw. Yeah, so I take a look, I'm like, okay, hold on, how come I don't see any silver in that? So you know, I take a look at the picture real quick. I'm like, well, the lighting could be kind of off, but I'm like, I don't see any kind of silver. And then he has the picture showing, you know, it's working. So I'm like, crap. I instantly, you know, I'm looking at how long ago it was posted. Of course, this is 10 hours ago. But when at the time I was looking at it, I saw it was 6 minutes. I'm like, crap. I'm like, I kind of stumbled for a second. I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna send him my offer. So I sent him saying the, you know, default, I want to buy your item for, you know, he had the amount 50. I'm not gonna try to chance it, you know, hit him with 40, and then a second later someone hits him with the full offer. So I'm like, all right, let's just go 50. Kind of at that point, you know, seconds in, I'm already biting my nails, just like, crap, what's gonna happen? So you know, I get a message. He's like, oh, okay, and then I tell him I'm kind of trying to get the ball rolling. I'm like, can I pick it up today? He's like, oh, okay. Well, where are you coming from? You know, where I'm from, where he's at, it's about like maybe 30 minutes if you're driving conservatively, maybe less. It took me about like 20 minutes to get there. You know, not too far. And then you know, he's kind of try to get, you know, see what's gonna be good. So I'm like, you know, let me know what works best for you. I said, not too far, I live in Paris. What works best for you? He's like, when can you come? Like, I can head out right now. I just need, you know, your preferred meetup address. And he's like, okay. So we kind of you know, we get an address going, and at the end, I'm kind of dumb. I kind of become like a jackass in a way, because I was like, you know, I'm telling him, all right, it's a little far, you know, any chance you can help me with gas, you know, or for my price? He's like, you know, it's a good price if you're not interested. I have others behind me. And at that point, I'm just like, my heart kind of dropped. I'm like, and I just hit him with this message, I understand, I'll see you in 30 minutes, thank you. So yeah, we, long story short, your boy copped it. He got the purchase. So going on with story time, you know, I got there, met up with the guy, and started, you know, I was a little worried because a couple days before, I'm going to kind of backtrack, but you know, the story has some relation to the PS3, of course. Backtrack a couple days, I was talking to the other guy who had a PlayStation 3 for sale, and he had two pictures. he had 3 pictures, but it was 2 different models. He had, it looked like an A or E01 because it had the flap for the extra storage missing, and it had the silver chrome trim. And then he had a second picture, and it showed a working model or unit, but it seemed to have the black trim like this B01. So I'm thinking in my head, well, I really don't want another E01 because I have I already have, at the time I think I had 2, and I just have 3 now with the most recent pickup. I was like, so I messaged him. I was like, hey, what's going on? Which one are you selling? Because there's 2. He's like, oh no, they're the same. So long story short, this guy's kind of BSing. He ends up messaging me a couple days later because I requested some pictures. He's like, hey, you gonna pick it up? When can you pick it up? I'm like, well, I want to see what I'm gonna get. I'm not gonna drive all the way over there. And it's like, this isn't what you showed that you were selling. And he ended up saying a picture of it's a fat model PS3, but it's the one after the E01, like the non-backwards compatible. I think it was like a L01. I was like, thanks, man, but this isn't what you showed that you have for sale. Thanks for your time. He's like, are you gonna buy it? I'm like, nah, man. Like, you have 2 different pictures than what you have showing. Like, this is obviously you're trying to scam people out, and from there I just dropped it. So fast forwarding back to today, meet up with the guy, get out of the car. I'm just thinking, like in my head going to the meetup. I'm like, man, what if it's like one of those guys saying, this is the model that you're gonna get, and just it's not the one. I'm like, for $50, if it's working, whatever, I'm not gonna cry over it. I'm not gonna make a big scene saying, hey, this isn't the item and all that, because the PS3s, there's subtle differences that you could tell what makes them different, such as the trim and all that. Anyway, met up, see the guy. We both get out of the car, and I see him pull out the PlayStation. I'm looking, and I'm like, no way. I see the black trim, and he has like the little cord hanging from the back. I'm like, just in my head, I'm just like, damn, this is it. So go up to him, give him my cash, and you start talking for a little bit. He's like, yeah, this is my son's. He moved out. He's about my age, which is like the early 20s. Saying, yeah, this is my son's. He moved out, and he left this. So I'm just like kind of selling some of the stuff. In my head, I'm like thinking, man, like did your son say it was cool? Like, I didn't want to tell him anything, but I'm just like thinking, man, I don't know. But yeah, so I took it, and I'm just like, man, I didn't even look at it, at the back sticker to confirm. I just saw the trim. I'm like, this, it's the B01 and all that. And I was just like, man. So I started looking around, and I noticed also this thing hasn't even been tampered with. You can still see it actually has the warranty sticker, and it actually has the original HDD sticker, which is crazy. And sometimes, even though the warranty hasn't been broken, the top lid will be broken. So that's how these things are sometimes accessed when people are trying to fix them for whatever reason. They enter them. So luckily this one hasn't been touched. So I'm really excited. And I don't know if I explained earlier, I was a little concerned because the HDMI out port or HDMI port seemed to have been damaged. Like it was off center. So I was like, when I was cleaning the PS3 up a little bit before the video, I was kind of worried. I'm like, it works. And I'll show you real quick. Oh, it doesn't work. No, give me a second. I just have a loose port over here. All right, I'm back, guys. Sorry. So there you go. Yeah, it's just my plugs a little loose. So I got home. I was like, all right, let's test it. Got to put a little extra pressure. And I was like, all right, it works. So I was a little worried. I'm like, I have this little baby HDMI cable, super small. I got it with the E01. So I was like, all right, let's test it real quick. Took it to the living room, and sure enough, the picture showed up. I was like, whew. I was like the biggest thing I was worried. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna have a working unit, but it's not gonna be able to display anything. So kind of, took a little bit of weight off my shoulder. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna run it or play it really right now because it's gonna be need to be cleaned out. It's I was looking at the sticker on the bottom, and it was showing I guess a manufacture date, if that's what it would be, of November 2006. So I mean, this thing is 14 years old, and I don't know how it's been ran, if it's been lightly used. There was already a disc in there for Mafia 2. It was funny too. The guy was like, "Oh yeah, you're lucky. It came with the game. There's Mafia 2 in there." I'm like, thinking in my head, I could just take the damn disc, chuck it across the damn freeway we're next to. I was more just like B01. Let's go. Um, but yeah, it looks like the Blu-ray drive was working because it did show Mafia 2 in there, and there's a couple other games as far as save data, not the actual game. But yeah, I'm just super excited to have a B01. Again, if you guys didn't see, this one cost me $50 to pick up. It's still a little pricey if you consider, I guess, for some PlayStation 3s you can find. It would have been nice to come with the controller and maybe all the cords, but I can't complain. People want just at least $100 just for the system alone, and that's like the bare minimum. So I'm happy to find one that hasn't been tampered with. And I just kept thinking, like, did this guy buy it at launch and just it's been with him this whole time? As because the guy I bought it from personally, he was a bit older. He was probably like maybe in his maybe late 30s, early 40s, I would say, maybe older. And the guy's name that was on the listing was the guy's name on the PS3, so maybe he bought it for himself and then he let his son play it here and there and kind of passed it down, and from there he's like, well, it was mine, let me just sell it. So it's just been a wild day, and just crazy, just thinking that back in 2006 this thing cost 10 times the price I paid for it, and that shows you how much stuff can depreciate. But the PS3s are kind of coming back strong. They're getting expensive again. As far as expensive, I mean, they seem to hover around the $150 range to $200, and at this time PS4s are selling for less than PS3s, at least the OG models, the backwards compatible ones. I've seen PS3s sell for as low as 150 with the controller, a game, and the console. It's mind-boggling. So I can't complain for $50. I mean, there are other people ready to snatch this just as fast as me. So, I'm really happy with the find. I mean, I've been looking on some other stuff, and I've seen, PS3 B01s in much worse condition, and people asking for more and them selling for more as well. So, just stay on the grind, guys. That's all I gotta say. Stay on the grind. Make sure you're looking on your local ads, whether it's Craigslist, whether it's OfferUp. Get your hands dirty. Get into those Salvation Army stores, your local Goodwills, your local pawn shops. You never know what you'll find, because I'm gonna kind of turn this off because I could hear the fan starting to spin up a bit. Yeah, even for my local pawn shop not so long ago, I found a component cable. It was a third-party one, but it was a component cable for a PS2. So, I mean, you never know what you find. I'm hoping one day I'll find it'll be cool just to find a fat PS3, even if it's not backwards compatible. A fat PS3 in my local pawn shop. Yeah, guys, it's kind of like my store. Yeah, what's it called? Show and tell story video for you guys. I rambled on way too much, and the video's about in a minute anyway, whether I like it or not. But yeah, I guess I'll do a little update video and see what's up. So hope you guys enjoyed. Until next time, peace.